a style icon in the digital fashion space.
The dream of doing something bigger in the world of fashion. Like we loved styling, but we wanted more. And we've always had this vision of having this kind of house.
She's a mother, influencer, and trendsetter.
On one hand, social media has allowed voices to be heard. Some for the good, some for the bad, of course. So like I said, it's a double-edged sword.
NewsX influencer A-List proudly recognizes Mithali Sagar for influence in fashion. Hello and welcome. You're joining us on yet another episode of NewsX Influencer A-List. With us today is Mithali Sagar. Now, Mithali is the co-founder and CEO of House of Misu. Mithali, firstly, tell us about House of Misu. How did it begin, and what has the journey been like?
Where to begin? It's been such a long journey, such a fulfilling journey. I have the greatest fortune for being able to work with my best friend. This was a dream of ours that we've had since we were in school together. And we've known each other since we were 6 years old in school. So it's been a really long time. So we started out as stylists by Trini and Susanna with a dream of doing something bigger in the world of fashion. Like we loved styling, but we wanted more. And we've always had this vision of having this kind of house, where there's everything under it, whether it's lifestyle, fashion, food, beauty, because we're actually passionate about all these things. We cook, we're very into skincare, we're very into interiors, we're basically just very into aesthetics in general, and being creative. So it just made sense. And as Instagram started to pick up, and as social media and basically influencing started to pick up, we just somehow blended into it. And when we started about 10 years ago or so, there wasn't anything like an influencer. We were just seeing something happening internationally and thinking that, hey, there is a void that we could fill in our own country. Let's give this a try. And we literally started with just putting up, style tips and some outfit posts and, just some very basic things on Facebook. That Instagram sprung up. We shifted over to Instagram, and then it's just been going and going and going since then. And every day is different. Every week is different. Every project is different. There's never a dull moment. We've done everything from being one of the first influencers to go to Paris Fashion Week to traveling to some really unique destinations for work. We've done so many things that I can't even wrap my head around or begin to describe to you, but that's basically our journey, and it's wonderful and it's growing. Now that I have a child as well, it's changing, but it's great. And I can't wait to see what else is in store for us.
All right, so we're going to come and talk about Krish, your baby, in just a bit. But before we do that, first, tell me, so when you moved in, you said, 10 years ago, there were not a lot of people. At least in India, the digital media space was not as established. Do you think that you had a certain first movers advantage, Mithali?
I certainly do think we had a bit of an advantage when we started out. However, we've always tried to maintain a very sort of streamlined way of creating content because we have a certain kind of followership. We're not trying to be completely mass. I don't think a 15-year-old would relate to me, but someone might, slightly younger, slightly older would. So we don't have the most followers in our country as far as influencers go, but we have a type of follower and we have a loyal follower, and we're very happy with the followership that we have.
But Mithali, why digital media? Because you could have started a nice boutique that is something that was there 10 years ago. Why take to the digital space?
So basically, because it was something that I saw growing at a very fast pace internationally. I was studying in the US basically when influencers like Chiara Ferragni, Brian Boy was really sprouting. Christina Bazan, they were super hot back then, and I mean they are still super hot. I saw this happening internationally, and I was like, if it's happening there, it's going to come to India. It always does. So if this is something that we get into now, like you mentioned earlier, we would have an advantage. And even like I was saying, even though we may not have the most followers, we are a well-known brand.
Right.
As House of Misu, because we've been there for a really long time. We're a trusted brand, and we've kind of stuck with our own USP. So we have things that sort of people think of when they think of House of Misu. So because we saw this void, because we realized that, hey, digital is the next big thing. There's a lot that can be done here. And we've seen it's been growing at an extremely rapid pace. There's a lot that one can do with it, a lot of creativity that comes into play. And you can really monetize on it if you think strategically. If you really sort of have a business minded path laid out in front of you, and if you're, well, a little bit serious about it.
Yeah. Also, your page is very personal because, I can see your baby there. I can see videos of Krish. Not only so your personal profile is, of course, locked, but there's House of Misu. And then there's a profile that I've noticed that is there for Krish as well. Tell us about
Yes.
that. Tell us about that, Mitali. What exactly is this profile? Do you hope that one day Krish is going to grow up and take to that profile?
Not necessarily. So I've actually been asked this question before, and funnily enough, it wasn't my decision to start that profile. It was actually my husband, and my husband, who's actually not as social media happy as I would be. He's a little bit more reserved. He seemed to believe that this would be a good thing for Krish, because let's be real, guys. It is an investment into his future to some degree. He can use it if he wants to, or it can, he can just let it go if he doesn't want to. But it's something for us as parents to be like, hey, this is what I do. This is my job. This is my career. I've seen it grow. If I can create this and sow the seeds for my son, why wouldn't I? Because this is what I do. I'm not trying to be like, hey, I'm trying to make my son into a public figure, or hey, I'm trying to force my son to do something. Not at all. What I put up there is fun stuff, things that we're shooting and things that I'm anyways posting on my own page half the time. It's just that now it's for him. It's for people who like to see him. And I know that a lot of people who come to my House of Misu page may not want to see 1,000 pictures of Krish, because they want to come and see fashion and beauty and things that they're used to seeing on my page. So this is for those people who want to see Krish.
I'm very intrigued. You called it an investment. We've heard in the past that let's say a mother or a father who is an investment banker, they'll often, open an account or something like that, a savings account for the future of the child. You're now calling a social media account an investment for your baby. Tell us about that. Do you think the norms are changing now? Do you think we're heading towards a completely different space as far as parenting is concerned?
Well, I mean, we all know that if you make a social media page successful, if you have a strong following, not just a strong following, but a loyal following, people who care about you, people who care about what you're doing, what you're saying, that is something that you can use either to, spread a good message, or to turn into a business, or to help promote your business. So this is something that maybe one day, like I said, he can use for either of these things, or he can be like, Mom, I'm not interested in this at all. I want to be a UN ambassador. But maybe I can use this to talk about the causes and concerns that I have. Yeah. So whatever it is, it gives him a chance to have his voice heard. Or he can be like, I want to be a lawyer and this is nothing, I just delete the account. And that's fine too. So it's literally something that gives him the opportunity to use if he wants, or get rid of if he doesn't.
So what advantages do you think, Mitali, as a mother who is also an influencer, do you think that, you have a certain advantage when it comes to maybe acclimatizing Krish with the digital space? Because for me at least, I'm going to tell you, we went out into the digital media space and we had absolutely no idea, right? Because our parents had not been out there. They did not know the do's and the don'ts. When you go out at night, parents can tell you, ye karo, wo mat karo. Digital media space, nothing of that sort. Do you think you have a certain advantage as a mother who's an influencer?
I think my position and my experience with the space, and not just because I'm in it and I work, with digital, also because I'm old enough to have seen a time when it didn't exist, right? So I've seen it from the start to what it is now. So, the generations who have come after me have kind of been slam dunked into it, and they've found it at a time where it's really rumbling with things that are not necessarily positive. A lot of people develop anxiety, stress, different kinds of depression disorders, etc., because of social media now. But I have seen a time in social media where this wasn't an issue, at the early time. So because of all these experiences, I think I'm able to guide his journey through social media in a way where perhaps he won't get sucked into these, these rat traps. That's at least the hope, because at the end of the day, he's his own person, and how he experiences and perceives things is different from how I do. And even what I say may not necessarily completely change how he perceives things. But hopefully I will be able to give him a leg up there.
Okay, so then Mithali, was it better before social media, or do you think it's better now?
I mean, I think it has its pros and its cons. On one hand, social media has allowed voices to be heard. Some for the good, some for the bad, of course. So like I said, it's a double-edged sword. I think it also helps a lot of people express their creativity. People who are, otherwise reclusive or shy, this has become a safe haven for them. But then again, on the other hand, it's also a haven for trolls. But I mean, you've got to be careful how you put yourself out there. You've got to know that you have to have a bit of thick skin, especially if you're someone who's in a space like mine as an influencer or a celebrity or whatever. But I think right now where it's at, even though there is the danger of, people looking at skinny, beautiful women and getting anxiety about these things, I think people are also starting to realize that all that is not real. There's a big trend now of showing the real you, whether it's your like post mom belly, or whether it's like your skin breakout. There's this trend. So I think we're shifting a little bit away now from that perfect, beautiful, face-tuned model type of profile to the more real profiles. And that's what's trending. That's what's getting the likes. That's what's getting the traction. Absolutely. So I think we're starting to get to a better place, and I hope that continues. But you never know, honestly. The world and life is unpredictable.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mithali. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but this has been a very, very interesting conversation. And we're going to remember the fact that social media profiles are investments, and that is how they should be seen. All right. Thank you so much, Mithali, and more power to you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.